Welcome back to the deep dive. We get a lot of feedback about the toughest parts of language learning, and one topic keeps coming up again and again.
IELTS writing. It's almost always the writing section.
Exactly. It seems to be the hurdle where so many people aiming high, band 7 or above, they just get stuck. You're juggling the clock, these really strict academic rules, getting the language just right. It's a lot.
It really is.
So our mission today is pretty straightforward. We're cutting through the noise. We want to give you the absolute essentials, the core structures and strategies you need for both Task 1, the report, and that big one, Task 2, the essay.
And let's just hit the biggest point right off the bat because this really changes how you should practice. Task 2, the essay, that's worth 2/3 of your total rating score. 2/3.
Wow, okay. So if you're spending half your time on Task 1,
You're probably misallocating your effort if that high band score is the goal.
Yeah.
You really need to lean into mastering that essay. It carries so much more weight.
that definitely shifts the perspective. Okay, so let's quickly define these tasks. Task 1 for the academic test, that's the one with the charts and graphs, right?
Right. You get some visual data, could be a graph, chart, table, sometimes even a diagram showing how something works, like a process.
And Task 2, that's the same for both academic and general training.
Yes, task 2 is universal. It's an essay. You'll need to give an opinion, maybe discuss different views on a topic, or sometimes suggest solutions to a problem.
Okay, let's start with Task 1 then, the academic report. Even though it's worth less, getting that structure right is still key. What's the main mindset people need here?
Objectivity. Pure and simple. For task 1, you are a reporter, not a commentator. You just describe what the data shows.
No feelings, no opinions.
Absolutely none. Forget phrases like, I think, or in my opinion. The examiner just wants to see if you can clearly and logically explain the visual information.
Right, it's about clear description, not persuasion. And structure is the way to get that clarity. You mentioned a specific framework.
Yes, a 4-paragraph structure is really the gold standard here for organization. Keeps things neat and logical.
Okay, break it down for us. Paragraph 1.
Introduction. Simple. You just paraphrase the question, say what the chart or graph is showing, but in your own words. Don't copy it word for word.
And paragraph 2. This is the important one, you said.
Crucial. This is the overview. Before you dive into details, you summarize the main things you see. What are the biggest trends? The highest points? The lowest points? Any really obvious comparisons? The big picture stuff.
In failing to include that.
It actively lowers your score. Examiners look specifically for that overview. It shows you understand the data as a whole.
Okay, so intro, then overview. What about paragraphs 3 and 4?
Those are your body paragraphs. Body paragraph 1, you describe maybe the first key feature or trend you mentioned in the overview. Give some specific data points.
But not every data point, right?
Oh, definitely not. That's a huge mistake. You pick out the important stuff, the significant changes, the main comparisons, quality, not quantity.
And body paragraph 2.
Similar idea. You describe the next set of key details, maybe comparing different categories or showing another major trend, always linking back to what you stated in the overview.
So that overview really guides the whole report. You mentioned picking out important data. People shouldn't just list numbers.
Please don't. It shows no skill. You need to select the key information. What's the most striking feature? Where did things change dramatically? Focus on those points. It shows you can analyze, not just list.
And to make it flow well, you need good linking words, especially for comparisons.
Exactly. You need to show relationships. Use words like while, whereas, compared to, or in contrast. These words are like signposts for the examiner, showing how different pieces of data relate to each other. It boosts your cohesion score.
Let's talk vocabulary for a second. If a graph shows numbers going up, you can't just keep saying increased, increased, increased.
Right. That hurts your score for vocabulary range. You need synonyms. For increases, try rose, grew, climbed, maybe surged if it was a big jump.
And for decreases,
Fell, dropped, declined. Simple, effective variety.
what about describing how it changed? Fast or slow?
Good point. Use adverbs. Sharply, dramatically, significantly for big changes. Slightly, gradually, steadily for smaller or more consistent movements, showing that range is really important for higher bands.
Okay, makes sense. Now, what about those diagrams, the process ones, like how cement is made or something? No numbers there.
Yeah, process diagrams are a bit different. The focus shifts completely to the sequence of actions, and the key grammatical tool here is the passive voice.
Because who does the action doesn't matter.
Exactly. It's about the process itself. So instead of workers mix the materials, you need to say the materials are mixed. It keeps the focus right.
And you need words to show the order.
Absolutely. Sequencing words are essential. First, next, then after that, subsequently, and always end with finally. It makes the steps really clear.
Okay, before we move off task 1, let's quickly recap the big don'ts, the things that will definitely hurt your score.
Number 1, skipping that overview. We've said it, but it's vital. Number 2, copying the question word for word in your intro. Always paraphrase. Number 3, getting your tenses mixed up. If the chart is about the past, stick to the past tense. Simple mistake, but costly.
Got it. Clear reporting, solid structure, focus on key details, and watch those common errors. Now let's switch gears completely. Task 2, the essay. Worth 2/3 of the marks. This requires a totally different approach, right?
Completely different. You're shifting from objective reporter to, well, an architect of an argument or a discussion. And yeah, that 2/3 weighting means this is where you really need to shine.
Word count is important here too. Minimum 250 words.
Minimum 250, yes. But honestly, to develop your ideas properly with explanations and examples, you should probably aim for slightly more. Maybe 260 to 290 words is a safer range. You don't want to seem underdeveloped.
Okay, and structure is just as important here as in task 1, I imagine. What's the recommended framework for the essay?
A 5-paragraph structure often works really well for clarity and covering everything.
5 paragraphs. Okay, what are they?
1. Introduction. Again, paraphrase the topic, but crucially, if the question asks for your opinion, state it clearly here.
Right up front.
Yes. Then, body paragraph 1. Your first main point, explain it and give a specific example to back it up.
Okay.
Body paragraph 2. Same thing. Your second main point, explain it well, give another solid example.
Makes sense. Paragraph 4.
This one's a bit flexible, often called body paragraph 3. It's great for discussion essays where you might talk about the other side of the argument briefly, or if you just have a third strong point for your case.
So it adds depth. And finally, paragraph 5.
The conclusion. Summarize your main points briefly, and this is important. Restate your overall opinion or position that you mentioned in the introduction. Tie it all together.
That sounds like a solid plan. Now, you mentioned different essay types. Opinion, discussion, problem solution. Does the strategy change depending on the question?
Hugely. Especially with opinion essays, the ones asking if you agree or disagree, or to what extent do you agree.
What's the key there?
You must pick a side. State your opinion clearly in the intro and the conclusion. Trying to stay neutral or perfectly balanced might feel academic, but for IELTS, it often means you haven't fully answered the question.
So being decisive is actually better, even if you acknowledge the other side in a body paragraph.
Exactly. The examiner needs to know your position clearly. Clarity is king in IELTS task response. Acknowledge complexity, yes, but don't sit on the fence if asked for your view.
That's a really important clarification. What about problem and solution essays? Any common traps there?
The main trap is suggesting solutions that are just completely unrealistic, like ban all cars tomorrow to solve pollution.
Right, not practical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your solutions need to be grounded in reality. Think policy changes, investment in alternatives, educational programs, things that could actually happen. Practicality is key.
Okay, so we've got structure, strategy for different types. How is the examiner actually marking this? What are they looking for? You mentioned 4 criteria.
Yes, 4 things, equally weighted. 1, task response. Did you answer all parts of the question? Is your position clear? Did you write enough words? Are your ideas developed?
Okay, number 2.
Coherence and cohesion. This is about organization and flow. Is your essay logical? Do the paragraphs link together smoothly? Are you using linking words effectively?
Right, the structure and the glue holding it together. 3rd.
Lexical resource. Basically, your vocabulary, are you using a good range of words? Are you using them accurately and appropriately?
And the last one.
Grammatical range and accuracy. Can you use a variety of sentence structures correctly? Simple sentences, complex sentences, and of course, how many grammatical errors are there?
On vocabulary lexical resource, I think a lot of learners panic and try to use really big, fancy words they barely know. Is that the right approach?
No, it often backfires. Precision is much more important than just using long words. It's better to use a simpler word like important correctly and confidently than to misuse a complex word like paramount.
So accuracy beats complexity.
Absolutely. Use the words you know well and focus on using them in the right context. Aim for variety, yes, but precise. Natural language is better than forced, inaccurate complexity. Trying too hard can actually lose you points.
That's really helpful advice. Okay, let's shift to some really actionable tips. People are always short on time in the exam. What's the best use of the first few minutes for task 2?
Planning. Spend maybe 5 minutes before you write just brainstorming. Jot down your main ideas for body paragraphs 1 and 2 and maybe a quick example for each.
Why is that so crucial?
2 reasons. First, it keeps you focused directly on the question, which nails the task response part. Second, it gives you a roadmap. You won't freeze halfway through trying to think of what to say next. It's like an insurance policy against running out of ideas or going off topic.
Plan the intro, plan the main body points, then write. Makes sense. And when writing, the golden rule for paragraphs.
One main idea per body paragraph. Don't try to stuff too much in. Develop that one idea with explanation and a strong example. That gives your paragraph focus and depth.
And use those linking words we talked about.
Constantly but naturally. Words like however, furthermore, in addition, consequently, on the other hand, they make your argument flow logically and really boost that coherence and cohesion score. They show the examiner how your ideas connect.
Okay, let's quickly hammer home the absolute final mistakes to avoid the real essay killers.
Biggest one, writing off topic. If your essay doesn't answer the specific question asked, nothing else matters. Your task response score plummets.
Right, what else?
Using bullet points? Never. IELTS demands full sentences and paragraphs. Also, trying to use memorized essays you found online, examiners spot them easily and they rarely fit the question perfectly anyway. It's a huge risk.
And always leave time to check.
Yes. Even just 2 minutes at the end to proofread for basic spelling and grammar errors, those little mistakes add up and can pull down your grammar score.
So for someone really serious about hitting band 7 or higher, what's the single most important habit they need to build?
It's simple but not easy. Daily writing practice. Seriously. Write Task 1 reports, write Task 2 essays regularly.
Just writing isn't enough though, right? You need feedback.
Absolutely critical. Get feedback from a qualified teacher if you can, or use a reliable online checking service. You need to know what you're doing wrong to fix it.
And reading model answers.
Yes, but strategically. Don't read them to copy phrases. Read them to understand how a high-scoring answer is structured, how the ideas flow, how they use examples, how they link paragraphs. Learn the techniques. Don't memorize the content.
It takes time and effort, doesn't it?
It does. Improvement isn't instant. You need patience and consistency. Keep applying these structures and strategies.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Key takeaways. Task 2 is king. We're at the 2/3, so focus your energy there.
Yeah.
Task 1 needs that clear 4-part structure with the vital overview.
And the essay needs a clear position if asked. Well-supported ideas with examples, realistic solutions if needed, and you need to consciously hit all 4 scoring areas: task response, coherence, vocabulary, and grammar.
You really have given everyone the blueprint today. The structure isn't a secret. It's about applying it.
Exactly. Know the structure, practice the structure. Good luck to everyone putting this into practice.
And maybe the final thought to leave you with as you go off and practice is this. Remember that IELTS writing, especially at a high level, feels complex, but it's ultimately a skill, not some kind of magic mystery. And skills improve with focused practice. You get better at writing by writing. Apply these rules consistently and you will see improvement. See you next time on the